Okay, so Tails. This is the idea for the Tails spin-off. This will be about Tails. So let's dive in. This is idea for the Tails spin-off movie or series. I don't really have an idea if it should be a movie or a series. Also, I'm not going to go through the entire thing. It's basically summarizing up the plot. So, yeah. But let me know down below, would you like to see this as a series or a film? So without further ado, let's get started. At a barn in the middle of the green hills, we would see Tails going in and out through the house, bringing parts in. He would be changing sort of things around, fixing things in his, workshop, tinkering with Eggman tech. However, him and Sonic would be down below in a library looking at past books which Tails managed to grab from other bits of worlds from his adventures from Sonic's world. And Sonic is amazed at all of this cool stuff that Tails managed to bring along, seeing all the wonders. However, they hear a knock on the door, and it's Tom and Maddie. As they enter on in, they're amazed at all the technology around, and Tom jokes about the bill, being that the power bill must be pretty insane. But he also mentions that most recently, those old criminals gangs from, the early times before Sonic arrived did return, and they've been robbing loads of shops in, Green Hills, including Chuck's Mechanics. Tails doesn't, like this, and so he vows to create some kind of defense that would help the people of Green Hills. A workforce of guardians who would overlook the town while Sonic and, Tails and Knuckles are away to save the world. They would protect the town of Green Hills. And Tails luckily comes up with an idea. He begins to think on how amazing it would be to make this a reality. The next day, we would see Tails in his garage, preparing to show Tom, Maddie, and Sonic what he has created. He then tells Unit to throw off the curtains, and he presents what he calls the Hard Boiled Heavies, a group of powerful robots with different abilities, which would be really cool. He explains how each of them, including the Heavy King, is mostly a strong leader. Magician uses illusions to trick people. Shinobi throws ninja stars to scare off people. Heavy Gunner can fly and cause danger. And, considering it looks more like police. And Ryder is mostly used to chase and catch up with people. And these are impressive robots to use. Tom admits they're impressive, they look quite cartoonish. Maddie likes the looks of them, but they're concerned that if they get out of hand, since Tails' inventions can be a little bit glitchy from time to time. But Tails assures them that this program is run by his newly operated TailsNet, which is this little CPU device that's inside all of the heavies, allowing them to be friendly towards humans. Meanwhile, outside, a Robotnik buzz bomber is spying on the events going on. It then flies off and flies away through the forest and entering down below into a lake, where a small little, circular submarine emerges from the ground. And it looks around, with satellite dishes attached to it. On the inside, we would see Agent Stone overlooking the footage of what was shown. He ultimately comes to the conclusion that this thing looks insane, that these things could cause some real damage to the world. Just then, his master asks him, what has he found? And Stone replies, stating that the fox has created something that might be proven useful to you. And the mastermind agrees as he sees the photo, as he hands Stone a chip, telling him that the next day he must be the one to put those chips into those 5 robots, give them a sense of freedom. The next day we would see Sonic, Tails, units, as well as the Hard Boiled Heavies, as Tails prepares to test them out in public to make sure that everything works perfectly. And they do pretty well. In fact, they manage to succeed at their jobs, fixing things. Shinobi uses the ninja stars to fix certain things, and well, the rest of them do their jobs. Heavy lifts, Illusion helps with the children, Heavy Gunner keeps the streets safe, and a Rider helps as well. However, Stone appears behind all of them and manages to put the chips into all of them, changing them completely. Tails is overwatching the progress from one of his computers, amazed that they're still following orders, and that he won't even need his computer system anymore because they're doing such a good job. But, however, overnight their eyes begin to change to red, and they begin to destroy parts of the town of Green Hills, wrecking stuff and causing vandalism all across everything. And all the citizens of Green Hills are all in distress. The police station is under attack and gets crushed completely. The next morning, Tails wakes up along with Sonic, and the two of them go into town to see what's going on, where they see everything's almost wrecked. Shops are destroyed, broken into, stuff has been stolen. Everything's in all horror. The mayor especially is angry towards most of this, as all the citizens are angry and they all point towards Tails being the culprit, since these things were his creations. Tails assures him that the Hard Boiled Heavies are kind-hearted and that they don't mean to cause any harm, but they still are angry at him. Just then they see the Hard Boiled Heavies and they begin to attack some of the humans, so Sonic and Tails fight back against the Heavies, but they seem to be a lot more powerful, and, well, the Heavy King can apparently speak. As he fires out and uses his strength to catch Sonic and summons his staff and blasts a massive laser beam at Sonic. Sonic gets burnt really badly, but he still fights back. He manages to tackle all 5 of them, but gets quickly caught and captured as they blast away Tails. Amy oversees all of this and heads in to help Tails. She mentions that she saw Sonic get taken, and she wants to help get him back, and Tails agrees. When Tom and Maddie overhear that Sonic got captured, they tell Tails that get him back or else he's grounded. And Tails agrees that they need to find Sonic, and at the Hard Boiled Heavies, Tails installed a tracker, so he will be able to find where Sonic is on the Earth, since he can track his heat signature or his DNA. Meanwhile, the Heavies, who are on the run, they manage to place Sonic into a cage, a special cage that he can't break out of, the ones used by guns. Sonic demands to know why on earth is he being captured? Why? Out of all the things, why is he one of them? The Heavies then explain They mention that they are now free from Tails' command, that they're able to do so much more now, that someone named the Mastermind gave them freedom, and that they plan to use their new set of freedom to serve their new master, and that everything will now fall under to their control, and that all that they know will be gone. All that they know? Sonic's a bit creeped out by this, but he declares them that even if they try to, that Tails and Amy will stop them, and he might even. The Heavies laugh this off before saying that they're giving him up to the Mastermind, as he's been dying to see Sonic. Amy and Tails would make their way into the Green Hills town centre before throwing a ring to check in a Robotnik base. And as they go on through, they see that it's mostly abandoned. And they continue to check around, looking for a place, something. However, they get ambushed by a ton of badniks, most notably being buzz bombers, motobugs, egg drones, crab meats, stuff, and a fight breaks out between all of them. The Heavies appear as they're ready to clash with Amy and Tails. Heavy King congratulates them and tells them to go away now, but they refuse. The Heavy King then orders a fight, and we would see Tails and Amy fight the Heavy King, as well as fight some of the other bad kind of guys. The Heavy Magician would create illusions tricking Tails and Amy, and Shinobi would throw stars damaging some of the areas in the base. Heavy Gunner would blow up stuff and Ryder would smash things. They would then retreat onto a ship called the Heavy Vessel, and they would fly off to the skies in hopes of getting to the secret location, to the meetup points. Tails and Amy decide to take the newly tornado and to fly to the skies. The Heavy King is annoyed that Tails just will not stop with these new gadgets that he's been creating, including one of them being the ring that he threw onto the side. Agent Stone contacts the Heavy King asking, "Where is Sonic? Is he there?" To which the Heavy King replies yes. However, Sonic manages to get free of his cage, and he begins to attack some of the badniks. He grabs onto some of them, blasting them all around, distracting some of the Heavies, even managing to hit Shinobi out of the window. Magician tries to create all of the illusions, but Amy whacks them straight in the face. Ryder tries to whack, Tails, but Tails does a tailspin move, cutting the leg of, cutting off his robot leg, leaving only Gunner and the Heavy King. Gunner fires all around, damaging parts of the ship, and, they destroy the Gunner, and the Heavy King gets powered down, and the ship crashes in the forest. Amy is glad that Sonic's okay, and Sonic's glad as well. And Sonic's happy that Tails, he did this without Sonic's kind of help. He did it all on his own, planned it all. In the post-credit scene, we would see in the miniature base, the drill base, we would see Agent Stone overlooking the events of the actions. He would be really surprised and shocked about all of this, as he would turn to his master, who would not be pleased with the outcome. He would state that while this was a disappointment, as he hoped to gain more of Sonic's power, at least that he has a better plan to kill the Hedgehog once and for all.